Hi guys, it's me Karen. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to show you some new pencils that I got. Now I had a set of Chromaflow 72 set and found out that they put out a 78 new colors. And I went on to, I believe it was Colt Pens that sold the set. So they sent it in this cute tin that's 150, and you have them spaced out in their colors, so you can actually add your 72 back in if you want to use the tin. I prefer to use pencil cases. So well, two reasons I put it in the pencil case. One, Rory decided she was going to climb up on my desk and knocked all the pencils on the floor, which is something she likes to do. So I ended up putting them all in here. Now I did put them in this chart here. This is the color family chart that, I don't want to get the name wrong, because she didn't put it on her little thingy here, so hold on. This is a color chart from Color with Claire. It's called the Family Chart Colored Pencil Set. So I purchased that from her. You can get it free, or you can donate some money to it. So picked it up and then added all the ones that were new, and then went in with the 72 set and filled the rest of it out. I do have the 72 set filled in this chart. I had the pencils for a while, and you'll notice there's really no darker tones that I prefer. So I didn't use them very often. There's a lot of reds and yellows and that kind of stuff, but you know, I needed a few other colors, and what they did was go ahead and put those colors in here. So we have some really nice deep purples and blues that I really like to use when I color. I could probably go through here and tell you which ones are new, but they're the darker ones. Just put it that way. They're the dark shades. Probably somebody has this with just the new pencils on it, but I filled it all out, so sorry about that. They're all in here, and we're going to use them today. So that's what they look like, and I've got 4 missing out of here because I'm using them in a different book. I have a picture that I'm doing very, 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 very slowly in this book here, and they are just done in the blue colors. I can show you the page if I can find it. Yeah, here. And like I said, I'm doing it very slowly. I've got the 3 pencils marked here, and this is what I'm working on in my very spare time, or when my hand doesn't hurt, or when it does and needs some exercise. So those 3 are out, and I'm going to leave them out because I probably won't use them in the page that I'm doing. You might hear those fall on the floor because I never know what my cat's going to do. Jump on my desk and play with the pencils. But they did make a nice rounded out set of all the colors that you need. We got even some skin tones in here now, and a whole bunch of the grays. Metallics are really pretty too, and soft. I don't know if you know anything about these pencils, but they are a softer pencil than the Polychromos. They're more wax based. They're kind of like Prismacolors, Derwent's kind of, how do you say that without sounding awful? Derwent's answer to Prismacolors that have their color range in it. They're not trying to copy, they're just made a nice set that has a smoother, more waxy coloration to them than their oil-based ones. So this one has more wax in them. I'm going to try to do this page. I will work on the fox here, and that might be the only thing we get done, and we might only get half of him done depending on what my hands will do. So since we have the family chart out, and I want to make the fox kind of fox colors, We're going to go with some of these over here and some of these oranges somewhere. I don't think I want them that orange, but in here. Burnt sienna carrot and a redwood probably. So we have carrot. Pull that out. Where was carrot? I have to put them all back in the right one. And then we have burnt sienna right next to it. And the redwood would be up here further. Somewhere. Redwood. Okay. And maybe the raisin and licorice. There we go. Raisin, licorice. Looking like a fox, right? All those colors. And then we'll need a black. Yeah, they don't have a black over there, so I have to find a black. It should be in the back here somewhere. I think. Yeah, black. Because we need some black. And then kind of a grayish color for the mix of ears. So, what do we want? Kind of a blue gray. Or we can bring in some blue. This one might be good. It's a deep sea. It's the one I had over here, so I'm going to have to remember to put that back. And how about slate gray? It's kind of a blue gray. And then for fun, we'll use this ice blue. It's kind of a metallic. It looks fun. Fox is kind of a reddish fox with a white. So I have to get out a really light color that looks white. And white is not going to show up until you put a different color on it. So we have to put a color underneath it to make the white stand out. Oh. Do we have a really light blue is glacier blue. Did I use that over there? Yep, I did. Okay, there. So we just want kind of a reddish color, and then white will be going with the blues and the grays. And if I pull anything else out, I will definitely tell you. And I will always leave the pencils down in the description box. If you open it up, you will find out how many pencils I use, because I tend to use a lot. Right now we're doing a fox with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 colors, plus we'll be adding in some extra whites into that. So 10 colors go on the fox. Let me get you down and we'll get started. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with our lightest color, and that happens to be the carrot. I'm going to sharpen this one. Oh, I would like a beige too. Do we have a beige in here? Let's see. I'm sorry. I thought a beige might work well. We have Parmesan. I'll sprinkle some cheese on the guy's face. How's that? Parmesan. Interesting colors. The names are really different. What is this one? Peach sand might work too. So between these two, we have a real light and then a tanner color. And I'm going to have to sharpen those too, just because they don't have a sharp point on them, and you kind of need a little bit of a sharp point. Maybe we'll start with this one first. We'll start with the Parmesan and then go in with the, what else? Peach sand, because we have a little bit of coloration around his nose and where his white goes into his ears and such. So we'll start with this color here, which is kind of like your ivory in any other set. Put a little around his nose, mouth, down here. And up here in his ear fuzz. And this side. You don't have to be too particular when you're first starting out. You're just laying down a color pattern. Now we're going in with the peach sand. And we'll add a little bit of that right in here to darken that up a little bit. Just to get right into the carrot color. A little bit right in here. A little bit in here. Okay, tiny bit just around his mouth here, under his nose. Okay, now we'll go in with the carrot. So we want to get that on the side of the nose and bring it up around the eyes. Leaving this area white along with his little chin underneath. You don't see his chest, so we can't leave that white, but we do need to leave the tip of his tail white. And we'll bring this color up here. You can see up here, right? We're just going to add some color up there. Now the fur goes in a direction of coming up the nose and then going out to both sides, but you have some straight up in here. So just remember to keep your fur going where the fur should go. The little lines in here kind of tell you, so it's kind of easy. But you just want to put some lines yourself in there. And if you want, you can make him a little fuzzier by fluffing out some of that color at the top. You can put the color down in this area, but leave this area up here white. Then there'll be a darker color that comes up here and comes down this way. So we want to kind of keep some of that color out, but you want to get a lighter color around the eyes right there and under it. If his eyes were open, you would keep that the lightest spot so the eyes would look like they were set in, and then put some darker color underneath it. Okay. Get some more of this color in here, and we're just going to lightly color the paper. I'm going to use the side of the pencil just so we have a shadow of that color in here. Next color we bring in is going to be burnt sienna. I'm going to start adding some darker colors in here. Bring that right up across here and then down towards the face here. A little under here. Just putting a little more pressure there. And bring some of that color down towards his nose. It'll look a little lighter because of the two other colors that we put on there. And then as we go up, it'll get darker. You want to have a little darkness here, and then lighter in this area. Between the ears, you want it a little darker, and across his forehead if you want him to have a rounder head here. But he's sleeping. Usually they kind of squish themselves in a little bit and cuddle up. So we're going to be kind of careful with our dark colors. And try to give him a cute little expression while he's napping. Again, we'll use the side of this and then just darken right around there. Very lightly so we don't get lines. I'm going to darken right in here. And right in here. Alright, next color is Redwood. Again, in the same spots, we're going to darken this a little bit. You could always get a reference picture if you need to off of Google. Just Google fox. See what you want to do. You can make it more cartoony if you want. I'm not saying I'm doing a realistic picture here. I need a sip of tea, sorry. But you could color him real flat and not have any fuzz on him too if you wanted to. This is Raisin. Okay, and we have a little licorice. And we're going to add it down here. Just bring it up a little bit. We're going to add this to his little eye here. Go up this side too, a little darker. inside of his ears. Bring some of that down into the white area. And then bring in our black. To make sure his nose is colored. I need that sharper. Sorry. We're going to get a little of it down here too. Bring that right up to the eye. Make sure that's colored. Okay, we're going to go around in here. Kind of go over the lines. Darken this side of his nose. And then go down the mouth. Darken it a little bit and bring it up. And then go up here. Shadow this in a little bit more. Go right where his eye is asleep. Go up here. Darken it where the fur and the ear meet here. Okay, I'm going to get out some Tombows. Got out a couple of the light, I don't know, these might even be the same number. 99 and 91 light tans. I'm just going to kind of go around his nose with these. Add in a little extra coloration. Go around his eye a little bit. And into his white fur. And just kind of pull that in a little bit. A little easier for me than running the pencil on there. Okay, and then the other one, this one is the 99. Believe it's a little darker. Just go around that. Shadow in there. Okay, then I have 947, and then I'll darken in here. Just kind of smearing the ink around a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take that softer color, just go over that a little bit more, help that blend in. And just to let you know, it won't go through the paper. They're water-based, but you could, if you are worried about it, put a piece of paper behind there. And let's see, we're going to add some white in here. I got to find the one I want to use. White Pitt pen, and this thing here is called a slice tool, and then I have some black pens I can use here too to darken up some of the black. That should work. Okay. I'm going to start with the white. It's just a brush pen. We're going to add a little of that in here. Lighten it up right there in this area so the nose goes down and his forehead comes up. This is up and then it goes backwards, so we want to put some white lines in there too. Start to cover up those black lines that are up there. Okay, let that dry. Probably should smush that out on something because I picked up colors. You can take this micron here and just add in some darker coloration around his nose, leaving our little shine mark. And right where his eyes are. Okay. We're going to take a very light gray here. Hopefully this is a light gray. I'm going to add it in his white down here and kind of give him a shadow. And up here in the white fluff. Tiny bit of a darker gray. Okay, we're going to take the slice tool. It's just like a ceramic blade that's not too sharp. I mean, you can cut yourself with it, I guess. So I'm not trying to do, but could. And you can just scrape that page a little bit. Try not to go too deep. It'll scratch up the page. And you can get the little hairs in it that way. Then we're going to get, do I have one out? Don't know if I do. Looks like I have a very tiny one. Yep. I wonder if I can get that in the sharpener. A little bit. 501. It's a white pencil, and it'll bring in any little white lines I want. Kind of take out some of those black pen marks that I don't want where I put them. Okay. His nose. Make those a little sharper with the white coming out of his fur. I need to get one that's sharper. I use them up quite a bit. There, that one's a little bit better. Okay. Bring some of that fur up in here. lighten those up a little. Fluff into that black. And we add a little more carrot up there to cover up some of that white, because I want that to have a redder color up there. It goes nicely over it. A little redder here. Yeah, carrot. I had to reread that. Dust that off, some kind of duster instead of my hand. Okay. Bring in the darkest color, the Raisin. And just add in a tiny bit of darkness around the eyes again. Getting rid of the black lines that were brought in. And just darken it there with the Raisin on the ends of it. Bring some up here. We will bring in, just to make sure you know where his little eyes are, because they're getting kind of blurred in here with everything else. So we're going to bring in the glaze pen. I need a scrap piece of paper somewhere here on my desk. Don't get the tip. And we're going to go in here. And just get those eyes. So they stand out a little more. And we'll probably do his nose. There we go, so you know where all that is. Let that sit for a while. And I hate to say it, but that's what we're ended up doing today. As much as my hand will let me do. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. You can tell how the pencils worked. They're just like every other pencil. I don't have a problem using any kind of pencil on any kind of paper. It's just you have to work them the way they want to work themselves. So I bring in a whole bunch of different colors and such to go in on all this stuff. Different pencils. I tend to have a favorite only for the fact that how many layers I can get in on a particular project. If I want his fur to be really fluffy and shiny, then I have to put in a lot of work to get it to do that. And I prefer to have pencils that can layer and layer instead of the ones that blend together in these kind of projects. But on other projects, I need that blending. So, I mean, between all the pencils I have, I use the ones with the colors I like. Not necessarily the way they color. So, that's just me though. Everybody else has their own favorite colors. I do tend to use the polychromos a lot because they have a nice selection of colors that I enjoy. So there we go. So far that's how our little fox is looking. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Take care everyone. Bye now.